Hi, I'm Julia Clark with Ipsos Public Affairs. This is the third installment of our ABA ICC International Criminal Court survey. This is the third wave of 1,000 interviews each wave. And we've got some pretty interesting findings this wave based on some new topics we've been exploring. Just as some background, most of the questions we ask are tracked since the first wave, and they look at awareness of and support for U.S. involvement or more U.S. involvement in the International Criminal Court, the ICC. What the data shows is that about 3 in 5 say they know nothing at all about the International Criminal Court. Now, this is down very slightly from the last wave in December 2014, and that is a significant difference, so we may be seeing some movement on this particular metric. And also, as with previous waves of this survey, there's majority public support for more involvement by the U.S. in the International Criminal Court, including general support for participation, for more participation, and that has increased a little bit since last month, as well as majority support for more dedication of financial, military, and intelligence resources from the U.S. to further the aims of the International Criminal Court, which is this notion, of course, of supporting human rights and holding individuals accountable for mass atrocities. So we do see some support for U.S. involvement and dedication of resource to the court, but it is just over a third, 37%, who think the U.S. should formally become more involved or even become members of the court, and we have about a quarter who disagree with that. So we have this situation where American public opinion supports the aims of the court and goes as far as to support some financial and other outlay from the United States to forward these aims, but there's a little bit more uncertainty about whether or not America should become a member of the International Criminal Court. This wave of the survey, as I mentioned earlier, we also explored the challenging and complicated issue of the Palestinian Authority becoming a member of the ICC, which occurred on April 1st. Now, before I get into the detail of this, I want to note that there is no poll question or survey question that could really capture the complexity and nuance of this situation. It's just not possible. There's too many details to convey, there's too much history to communicate, and that's not possible within the scope of a simple survey question. So that leaves it to us as pollsters to endeavor to do our best by designing clear questions that are straightforward, that have no bias, and that try to get at this issue in a concise manner that the general public can understand, because of course that's who we're asking these questions of. This is no small task, but we did design 3 questions, which you can see in detail in our report on the website. Now, among those aware of the ICC, so those at least with a base level of knowledge of some of these issues, a quarter think that Palestinian ICC membership advances international justice, and about 15%, 1 in 6 or 7, think it hinders this cause of international justice. About a third think it is going to have a neutral or no impact, and about 16% don't know. So what that means is over half don't have a very strong opinion about whether this will further or hinder international justice. And that's among those who do have a good awareness of the ICC. So this speaks to the complexity of the issue and to the fact that a lot of people don't have a strongly formed opinion upon it yet. Among those aware of the ICC, the data also suggests that investigations into incidents involving Palestine and Israel would be seen better in terms of furthering the peace process in the long term rather than the short term. There is a perception that in the short term it could be more complicated, but there may be some longer term benefits to investigations. All in all, I think what's clear is that the issue is pretty low salience among the American public, with more than half saying they just don't know if Palestine's membership in the ICC will help or harm the peace process, and that those who do offer an opinion are almost equally divided between help and harm. So no very clear answers, but certainly, given the importance of this issue, one worth measuring and exploring with survey and poll data to understand where the American public does fall on this complicated issue. Thanks so much.